Okay, in this video we're going to show how to connect a BinMaster DPM-500 digital display to power and give the reading for when connected to a BinMaster NCR-80 through air radar. This particular model is a 2-wire 4 to 20 radar. Okay, we've opened up the display enclosure. We're going to have two cables. We're going to have the black cable is 115 volt power. This is 115 volt model DPM-500, and so we'll power it with that. The blue cable is the 4 to 20 milliamp cable that goes over and connects to the NCR80. We'll start by connecting the power conductors to the power terminal on the DPM-500. These are pluggable terminals, so if it's easier to remove them to make your connection, you can do that. So we'll put the hot conductor, the black wire, in one of the terminals, and the neutral conductor, the white wire, into the other terminal. Tighten the screws down tight and make sure they're secure, and we will plug them back in. Now on the AC model of the DPM-500, the polarity does not matter, so it doesn't matter which wire goes in which terminal. Then we'll just plug it back in. This is a completely plastic enclosure, so we do not need to ground anything. There's nothing to connect to ground, so we're just going to put a wire nut on the green ground wire, and we won't be using it here. The blue cable is the 4 to 20 wiring to the NCR80, and we'll connect it over here on this 6-terminal block. The two terminals on the left, the B plus or P plus and the P minus, they are a 24 volt power supply. So we're going to connect the blue wire. We're going to use it as the positive. We're going to connect it into the P plus terminal and tighten it down. The white or clear wire is the 4 to 20 return wire, and we'll need to connect it over at the other end of the terminal to the MA minus or MA plus terminal with milliamp input terminal. We'll put that in there and tighten it down. And then to complete our circuit, we need to connect between the COM terminal and the P minus, which is the negative of the 24 volt power supply. So we'll use a little jumper wire and just connect between the COM terminal and the P minus terminal. Make sure all those wires are in there secure. Okay, now we've moved over to the NCR80, the 2-wire loop powered NCR80. We've got the two 4 to 20 milliamp wires. The blue one is our positive, so we're going to connect it to terminal number 1, which has a positive symbol by it. And these are push button terminals. They're spring loaded. You push the button down and then you insert the wire and then let off on the button, and then the spring holds it springs closed and holds that wire in there. Now the white or clear wire is the 4 to 20 return wire. It'll connect to terminal number 2, which is labeled with a minus. And again, we'll push the push button down, insert the wire, let off the push button, and the wire is in there secure. This is a plastic enclosure, so that there's no exposed metal parts, so we don't need to connect a ground to it. That pretty much is all there is to the wiring of these two. And so we could put the display, the bin disc on for display. Okay, we've powered our system up, and it takes about 30 seconds for it to get booted up and running. So we've got it up up to speed, so it's running and measuring properly. We're looking at the bend disc on the NCR80. We can set it up to display one line of information or two lines of information. We can program what we are displaying. Right now we're programmed to display, the top line is displaying the distance to the product, or the distance to where we're getting a reflection from. And the bottom line we set up to display the milliamps that's flowing in the loop. So the 19.3334 that is displaying on the second line of the DPM-100, we're displaying that on the DPM-500. There's 6 digits on the DPM-500. I just have it set right now to display the milliamps so that we could compare that they were reading the same. We could set it for percent full. We could set it for a weight, a volume like bushels or gallons. So we can program the display to show any of that. But that, you can see how it's working right now. I could move I'll move the radar around, and you'll be able to see the display change for the distances I'm pointing at.